Just.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Are you live? Is this it?
Oh, this is really shaky. That's okay.
Yeah, don't shake. How's everyone doing?
Hey everyone, happy summer.
The distraction titles are kind of funky, eh?
Yeah.
So this is episode...
No, it's not an episode. It's a summer.
This is summer episode 1.
It's not in the seasons. It's just a bonus.
It's just a bonus?
Just a bonus.
I feel like we need to number it.
No.
Okay,
No.
so I'm going to look here and we're supposed to be able to see comments. So I'm finding that. And coffee. What are you drinking?
Well, I've already had like 4 coffees this morning and I feel a little coffeeed out. So I'm having iced coffee.
Okay, you're feeling coffeeed out from the temperature that you're drinking the coffee versus
I find like iced coffee just tastes different than regular coffee.
Gotcha.
So I made an iced coffee.
Cool.
They not a sponsor. Nescafe has like these new like packets that you can like rip open and pour in and add ice, and I really think that they're really good.
Nice. So. I'm having, Brian made it for me, Indonesian Sumatra.
Do you recommend?
This is what he had.
Yes!
For the Father's Day episode.
Yes.
So, yes.
We brought our bag of coffee here for our mom talks, and he just randomly reached in and pulled one out.
Nice.
And the first one he pulled out was chocolate mint, and I said, oh, that must be hot chocolate.
It is, yeah.
And he said, oh, I guess she probably doesn't want hot chocolate. I'll reach in again. So he reached in and he pulled that one out. And he was going to put it back. But I was like, no, unless you think it was really awful, give it to her because that's the one you had. And he was like, oh, I don't remember.
It doesn't taste awful. It just doesn't taste like much of anything,
There's
really.
just no flavor.
Yeah. So I still don't really know where, if it would come up here.
So
maybe?
if you click on the video.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, there's live chat.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching us, can you say hi?
Say hi, because we see that there are some people
watching. There are some people watching. Where do we see that? 2 people are watching. Brian and Scott.
I hope not.
Yeah. So if you're watching, chat with us. It's always fun to hear the chats and all of that stuff. So we have an Instagram video, and we will link the Instagram in the comments.
Yes. Unless Scott can find it on TikTok, but you know. Yeah.
So do you want to pull it up on your phone and we'll watch it together? And we have both watched it. Hey, Scott! We've both watched it, but it's still really good and ties into a few things that we wanted to discuss today. So...
Yeah, so let me just find it.
I saw that my Aunt Cheryl was watching.
Oh, hi,
Aunt Cheryl. Cool.
Hi, Aunt Cheryl.
And Brian is watching. It's kind of neat that we can see up there who's watching.
How many videos have I sent you?
Oh, it's a little ways back.
This one?
Here it is. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to watch that.
Oh, I don't want to unsend the message. I want to watch it.
Okay, I wrote... Who with the best intentions has been told, don't be mad, don't be sad. I've been at fault for that too. I've gotten a lot better at saying it's okay to be mad, it's okay to be sad. And I just think that reminder is good for us millennials too, who were taught to just pent everything up and not feel anything negative ever. So, this is for us. It's okay to be mad, it's okay to be sad. You don't always have to be happy or glad. Working through emotions is what can calm the ocean. But when you bury them like a potato, don't be an emotional potato. You can erupt like a volcano. So feel what you're going to feel. And give yourself the space and grace to deal. 'Cause at the end of the day, when skies are gray, being sad can help you heal. Okay.
I love it. Okay, just cry it out.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, Mom.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you sent that to me.
Yes.
And it's kind of a running joke that
you're the feelings girl?
I'm a feelings girl. We talk about feelings a lot in my house.
Did you as a child?
I don't think so.
You must have more than we did.
We talked out a lot of things, but I don't remember mom and dad asking how I felt in that aspect. But I think, I don't know, where it's just kind of morphed and come up, and maybe like with my schooling and stuff like that.
Your training, right? It really affects you.
Yeah, so we often like, how are you feeling? Or like if they're upset, okay, so what are you feeling? Because we can label it like mad, angry, whatever, but is it disappointment you're feeling? Are you feeling overwhelmed? And those kind of things. So a year or more ago, maybe even 2 years ago now, I'm not sure, I was at the Carpenter house and James was quite upset, and I said, what are you feeling, James? And Scott turns to me and was like, we don't talk about feelings here. And James, in like that moment, he's like, I don't know. Like, yeah.
But we've gotten a lot better. We've grown. And
but yeah, and Scott will make fun, but also I can see that you guys are trying, but he'll like, what is your body feeling? What is your body telling you? And those kind of things. But it is helpful. It's helpful to know, because we assume we know by the reaction or what the actions that they're making, but we may not know. And
even just to, like, it's really helpful for me watching like my youngest son have a hard time. Like, instead of like, I know it's been said to me like, well, you just need to discipline more, and I'm like, but he's not, like, there's a difference between defiance and disrespect, and like inside I can't process the emotions I'm experiencing, and then it coming out in biting me. And like, I don't think that like yeah, I was upset when my son bit me, but like I also recognize you are angry and you're having a hard time. And labeling that can be helpful. Or like, are you feeling angry, or are you feeling overwhelmed or jealous? Like we had talked about those. Like, there's lots. Why did I do that? I was feeling jealous, so I made a bad decision, right? And recognizing that in ourselves, so it's not kind of pent up and built up. Because we as millennials, she's right. Like, we are definitely the generation that was told to like shove it in, and that's what I kind of feel like. I think we're coming out more than like my parents' generation or like the boomers and stuff. They were like, you just shove forward and all of that always stuff. Put on a happy face. Another thing that I find really helpful, like, and the other thing with the feelings is that it's not when they're exploding or like completely, you have to know timing. So when they're starting to get upset and you're like, you're feeling angry or whatever, when they're exploding, it's not a time to be like, what's your body telling you? Because it's not happening. Sarcasm. But it's the thing of like, oh, are you feeling angry, or are you feeling this or whatever? And how can we get that out and in an appropriate way? And the other thing I find really helpful is saying, like, if your child comes running to you, I'll say to especially Micah, is your body hurt or your feelings hurt? I like that too. Because it's so helpful for me to know, like, should I be checking somewhere on your body, or is it like a heart thing? And I feel like when it's a physical hurt, there's just a slightly different sense of urgency that you need to be able to process in your mind. Okay, how do I address this situation? Yes. Yeah, I've heard you say that. I really like it. I find that really, really helpful, and just to where to go from that point, whether it's body or emotions. And the other thing is just like that taking care of heart. So that's another thing that I find really important to. And like I love that you say that, because I know I've started adopting it a little more too, because that's how we be good friends, right? And like, we're trying to teach our children to be good friends to others, right? And so it's like, did you take care of your friend's heart there, or were you selfish and only thinking about yourself, right? Yeah. And that's the whole, like, people come first and versus like things and stuff like that, even though it's really hard. But taking care of
parts what I adopted from Christine. Christine, that was the language that she was using, and I really, really liked it. So.
And she's one who does a good job with the emotions. Like, her children very young were able to identify emotions, and I need personal space now.
Yeah.
And I really like, I've started understanding now that sometimes my kids need downtime. And so, and like,
Yes.
yeah, so I've seen, like, I know our nephews are down, and like, my one nephew, like, every once in a while he'll just come in by himself into our trailer, and I'm like, oh, do you need some downtime? And he's like, yeah, I do. And like, you can just see this, like, oh, you get me. Yeah, I do just need some downtime away from all the chaos and the noise.
It's so true. And I think, like, as adults too, recognizing, like, we've talked about that with me, like, I need downtime. And it's important to take that, because if you don't, then it could lead to other things and cause more issues and that kind of thing. And my kids need downtime as well, for sure. So do you want to hear Micah?
We have a Micah story?
Well, you've already heard them, but it's just,
everything.
it's so my son, we were at camp and he had an accident. And so by the time I got to it, I'm like, I can't clean your underwear. Like, we're at a trailer. I don't have what I can use to clean it, whatever. So I throw them in the garbage, and my son does not like change, and he bawled for like 20 minutes.
I haven't heard this story.
You didn't?
No.
So he bawled for 20 minutes that I threw his underwear out, and instantaneously they became his favorite underwear in the whole wide world, with the black thing and the blue stripe. So the next day, we recover-ish from that. Clearly he held on to some emotions. The next day, I realized that Cadence has a stain on the back of her shirt, but it's kind of like hard, but it's not poop. And so I was like, oh, there's a stain here. And he's like, you better throw it out, because that's the only fair thing to do. And I was like, dude, it's different. A poop stain in your underwear
It's very different than something.
than a stain on your shirt. But it was so funny. And I was just like, oh, that black and white. And
Did your kids come home with tie-dye on their clothes yesterday?
not clothes, body. Not that I noticed clothes, body. And so Cadence had a bath. Micah didn't, and she's still stained. But I saw Renee got some on.
Oh, yeah. Her skirt and her Dude Perfect shirt are, like, dye everywhere. Just little spatters. I think that the Dude Perfect shirt will be fine, because it's just little tiny dots here and there. And it's a year old now. Okay. I'm pretty sure.
Was she upset? I wasn't sure.
I think there was like a realization, like, oh, but our school's going to uniform, so it's not like she can wear it all the time anyways. Right. So I think she was kind of like, yeah. And then, well, whatever. Yeah. So, but I'm pretty sure the skirt I'm going to have to throw out. Oh. I like doused it in, what's it called? Detergent. Yeah. And I'm going to wash it today and see. But like, I forgot all about it. I told her to put them in the tub and I'd wash it. But then she left the curtain closed, so out of sight, out of mind. Yep, that happens. I forgot all about it. That so happens. I'm sure the dye is set in the clothes. Yes, and that's done.
Irina, I am drinking Indonesian Sumatra, which I don't taste a flavor. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah. No. I was just seeing if there was...
I checked to see if there was like coconut, whatever. It just says coffee, so you have to look it up. It just tastes like coffee. It's very plain and unexciting. Do we have more comments that I'm not seeing? And Jen is having, I was paying attention, Nestea iced coffee.
Yeah, I got the salted caramel one. I love it.
Iced coffee thing. So that's what we are drinking. The other thing I meant to say with the whole feelings conversation, whatever, is struggling with Micah because he's a man of very few words. And so really trying with him to get him to share like his thoughts behind something. Because I'll ask him to do something and it looks like he's disobeying or completely doing the opposite thing. And I think I've mentioned this on Mom Talk before, but often he has a thought in mind that could even be a better way or method to doing things than how I've asked. So I will often say, use your words. I need words because right now it looks like you're disobeying me.
Right? Like, yeah, like was that this morning when you're like, you need to go home and he's like still playing and I'm like, you're not actually moving. He's like, well, I'm finishing what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and so it's, using his words is a big thing. But it's funny how personalities come like from a baby. Like, even when he was younger, I thought that he maybe had, I thought that maybe he had like a speech or hearing issue, like Cadence did. But we took him to a speech pathologist and she was like, yeah, he just is a guy of little words. He understands what you're saying. He can use words, but he saves them. And no, Jen is not drinking beer, Irina. She is drinking iced coffee. But I can see how we had another comment that it looked like that as well.
But it's really good iced coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So the words thing is big. But anyway, so Micah, like growing up, that's how he's been. Cadence, she was so young. Like I've shared this before. She was born. She was very overdue. But I conked out for 2 hours and I woke up to her cooing back to Brian when he was like singing to her and talking to her. And she was so social right from when she came out. And Pastor Jim used to say like she would always just smile and go crazy. And she's an extremely social person. And empathetic and reactive to people and all of that stuff.
Yes.
So it's funny how they develop. Is there anything as a kid that your kids were like as babies or toddlers and that's come into them as they're growing up that you're like, oh, that was there then too?
Well, I'm not sure. The only thing I can think of is that when Jack was born, before he was only partially delivered, and he kind of made this sound like a cry, like a laugh.
Okay.
And the midwives like laughed because they were like, this is so strange. Like
that he's only partially interested.
And like not even completely born yet and making these noises. And I'm just kind of waiting to see if he grows into like, what will that mean for him?
Right.
Like, does it mean that he's like, is that a trait of aggressiveness or is it a trait of like
vocal? He's
vocal,
very
and
vocal.
He is vocal and
he is very vocal,
and he is a go-getter, aggressive, I guess assertive, right?
Yeah.
He's quite...
Positive reframe.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like Renee developed her vocabulary quickly, but like now looking back, like I remember she was my first, and so I was super eager and excited about all the milestones she was hitting, and Eliza's not hitting the milestones in the same way that Renee was, but I have no concerns whatsoever because I guess now the fourth child, I'm like, she'll get it. It'll be interesting to see with her personality if she'll just be kind of more that laid back fourth child, just kind of chilling a little bit or whatever. Yeah, because I'm like, she can understand. She responds like everything that I think, like, I've done this before, but she doesn't have, at her last doctor's appointment, she didn't have 5 words, so well, whatever. And that was the concern with Micah. Like, he wasn't speaking a lot as well, and that's when I took him in, and she was like, no, he's good. He's just a man of little words. But, yeah, it is neat, Shalana. You'll have to kind of take notes of... She said it's so neat having a baby and noticing certain things and wondering how that will manifest when he gets older. Yes. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how that works out. But, so... vacation expectations. I'm the queen of expectations, including last night's supper. I struggled with that. Oh, no! We talked early in the day, and Scott brought his, hot dog steamer thing that he bought on Amazon. He loves it. And the conversation, I don't even know, did you? Yeah, you sent us a message and said... We have hamburgers, we can do hot dogs, and the idea was we'll have supper together. So we pick up the kids from day camp at 5,
This is my shining moment, guys. Are you ready? Do you remember that time that I had good language talking about feelings with my kids? Remember that when you hear this.
Well, and I don't know if I'll tell it all completely to justice, but it was just, so Brian was doing the laundry. I was doing the laundry. We go to pick up the kids. And the idea that we talked about when we got in the vehicle to go pick them up was that we would come back and I would stay in the car, Brian would come, and we would go get our laundry. So Brian takes me down to the laundromat, and we're down there, and then we get a phone call from Tanya, and she's like, I don't know what's happening. And like, cause Scott sent a message saying like the hot dogs
He said they were almost ready, and I was like, like, I'm still trying to like get condiments, and then I have like 2 boys, and Micah was like interesting, and then I was like, Brian's supposed to barbecue, and I'm like, I'm not ready for this, and so I'm like, where are people? And
Brian's like, there's nothing we can do, and my laundry wasn't dry. I had to put another quarter in and wait the 8
and they
minutes.
Decided to wait down there,
well,
which I understand, but at that moment it felt,
she was so mad.
I was just like, so I like video call the group and like, what's going on? And then at the just a few minutes before that, I went out to start the barbecue, and it's a new barbecue, and something wasn't going right with that, so I had to like come back inside quickly to get like oven mitts. Anyways, and at that time, like, James comes running up the stairs crying, and here, take this. And I was
everybody's melting down after
daycare. And then I was like, what's happening? What's wrong? I'm feeling frustrated. Hey, in 2 years, he now knows he was feeling frustrated when he was crying. You're welcome. So he's like, I'm feeling frustrated. I'm like, hey, so what happened? He's like, just take the hot dog. And I was like, okay, so I have a single hot dog in my hand, oven mitt, trying to figure out barbecue stuff. So I come inside, and I had already said, is this hot dog for Jack? Because Jack and Micah were here. It's like, I don't know what's happening. And so, yeah, so I didn't know. And so then I just, video call the group, what's happening? and
of course, I declined the call.
She declined too confrontational. But you and Brian were together.
Yeah.
So I realized that I'm not at a good state. And so they're keep talking, and I just ended and went off the call. And then it was a matter of minutes before you guys all started just coming, because I think everyone just realized.
Well, and my laundry was done. And
yes, but even Scott came over then, and I was like, yeah, I know I behaved poorly. That was hard.
But it's one of those, and you sent me a video, and I've seen it posted a few times, on Facebook and stuff. It's the stimulation, right? You've got noise and chaos and things and all this stuff coming at you, and our brains just can't go that fast.
Yeah, it was a post about how, moms often get blamed for, losing their cool or getting angry or whatever, when really it's everything has come at them all at one time.
I'm not angry, I'm overstimulated.
And that's kind of the feeling that it was. It was just this was happening, and yeah.
And you actually recovered really quickly.
I did recover fairly quickly. But yeah, it wasn't one of my shining moments. But those situations do happen for me, is the expectations, and things don't run smoothly, and then I get really overwhelmed.
Things like the restaurant is really slow, and we were planning on doing Mom Talk yesterday.
Yes.
And that was hard. I could tell that was hard on you too.
On me. Yeah.
That you came back, and it was well, we don't really have time now.
And then it wasn't working.
I wasn't with
and
you.
It was, and I was, I had a hard time with that too. I felt like I was disappointing you guys, even though it was later for us, kind of thing. But yeah, and so the vacation expectations, it started off a little rocky for us coming here. We had canopy rip, and we're renting a trailer, and
the first day, it was insane. The instructions were, if there's gonna be strong winds, take it down. And so we were great. And then it rained, not strong winds, but then the rain, it was the heavens just open, and the amount of rain that came down, and it was,
and then it ripped the canopy, and I don't even remember. I feel like I've blocked out. Oh, Cadence was really struggling at bedtime, really struggling, and So there was that.
Yes, and then you went to buy a new canopy and called the store. They said, yeah, we have 2. So they drove 2 hours
to Toronto.
From
Cobourg to Toronto.
To pick up this canopy.
That they didn't have.
Not there. They went to 2 different Walmarts. Both Walmarts on the website said that they had this canopy.
And I called both of the Walmarts and they said they had them. And that was really draining and tiring.
What a waste to drive all the way to Toronto for nothing.
So then we had to buy a whole new gazebo thing.
Canopy thing, yeah.
So that we could replace the canopy that was broken. So that was fun.
But now you have a new frame at home. And when the replacement things come back out, you're going to have a beautiful canopy.
Yes, it's going to be great. So
I'm still trying to sell her on this. You have a canopy at home now.
But anyway, so that was a little interesting. But I feel like the last few days have been good and feel more settled. And then we'll go home.
Have a new routine again.
And then it's back to school, which is busy.
I know, like, okay, so here we are. We're at the end of July, but it feels like summer's
hi,
over.
Jackie.
Hey, bud. You want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say hi.
It's been...
Hi.
All right, go back and see Dad.
No.
Or Brian. Where's Brian?
Brian.
I'm walking with Dad.
So yeah, it's been really busy, and
there's something every week in August.
the whole summer. There's been something every week. I feel like
it's been weird. Like I don't even pre-COVID. I don't remember the summer feeling this busy.
Yeah, but I've heard that before. Like with COVID, we were locked down and we couldn't do anything. And now, like, everybody's kind of like that over planning and all of that stuff. But, and so back to school too. So I've taken on a new job. So that will be exciting.
We're going to be colleagues twice. Once for Mom Talk.
Yes.
And
so I'm going to be teaching the kindergarten readiness at the private school in our church, so Cornerstone Christian Academy. So that's where Jen teaches. So I'm going to be doing that 2 days a week. So we've like thrown out like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you did that? Like just, and every time I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. Nope, can't do it.
Like
and then,
since 2016, I've been telling her she needs to teach this program.
And then this year it actually became like a possibility that maybe I could. And I actually thought about it and was like, like I really liked that aspect of the job when I was up north, teaching readiness and stuff like that. So Jen was like, you're actually considering it? And
then I had like 2 weeks of like sitting quietly, not saying anything to her, waiting for the anticipation of her saying yes or no and hopefully being yes.
And yeah, so I agreed. I've had 2 mornings where I've woken up thinking, oh no, what have I done? But yesterday when we were out for our anniversary lunch, Bry's like, you felt these exact same things when you started in ministry and doing the kids.
I was going to say, I think you felt the same way when you started at the church too.
Yeah, he said that you felt, I felt like, and I remember this, feeling like there were so many other people more capable than I was, and I really shouldn't be in that position, and how am I going to do this? My concern, because I struggle with depression and anxiety, is that I'm going to have a breakdown and then disappoint people and like leave them hanging because I'm not mentally able to keep going.
Yeah.
And also balancing family, because I want to make sure that I have lots of time with them.
Yeah.
As well. So balancing that, but the last 2 mornings I have not woken up feeling panicky. So
Yay.
That's good, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. How are you feeling about back to school?
Well, I'm multiple emotions at the same time because I really am wanting to start, and I want to get back to school and start planning and getting in my classroom and decorating and getting routines and feeling like some sense of control.
Yeah.
I desperately want to feel like some sort of sense of control. But that's not an option at the moment. Working at a private school, it operates differently than in the public school system. Like, I know your children know who their teacher's going to be in the fall.
Yes, there's always the chance that it'll get shuffled, but yes.
Yes, and we don't, our principal doesn't like the shuffle, and we have to wait based on enrollments because it's a financial decision of how things are broken down. And so we need to be patient and
You're so good at that.
Oh yeah, I'm so good at the patience, especially when other people know what's going on and I don't. Oh, that's so hard.
And
But
hi, Daddy.
so
And hi.
so it's mixed emotions because it's frustrating not knowing what's going on. Hey, can you shut the door because they're cutting the grass out there. It's loud.
It is
Thank you.
very loud.
So yeah, so I'm battling like the anticipation that's like, come on, and I also just want to enjoy my summer.
And because as soon as
You've already said hi, honey. I know.
I'm saying
Here.
as soon as you find out though, your summer is
It's
going to be over.
So it's actually, I've been telling myself that it's a blessing.
I really, yeah.
That I don't know what's going on because now I can, I've done 2 puzzles.
Yeah.
I've been able to sit and do nothing and just drink a coffee and chat with people.
Yes.
And now I'm not gonna lie, I bought what's it called? Whiteout tape and gel pens and funky color Post-it notes and the nameplates that you write the kid's name on and put on their desk.
Those are really cool though.
They're
I really
actually,
like them.
they've been delivered and I'm
nice.
itching to go pick them up at the office.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah,
So,
they're very neat.
yeah, definitely anticipation, but it'll be nice to know, what's going on.
Yeah. I find it different. So we have VBS camp coming up in a couple weeks. And typically we have it at the start of the summer and then I have vacation and stuff. And so I don't really have to think about it. But this year it's in August and I'm finding it very tricky because I'm on vacation before VBS. So, but it's interesting because I thought I would have been working nonstop because VBS is coming up. And so I wouldn't really have a vacation. It's kind of the opposite that's happening. I'm on vacation. It's not right in front of me and I keep forgetting about it. And then I'm like,
But
oh
there's
my
stuff
goodness,
you have
there's
to do.
stuff that I have to do. So it's kind of interesting and I'm hoping that everything kind of works out.
Oh, it will.
So, yeah.
It will.
But anyways, you have to go to Napanee today.
I do. My kids
are
have
off.
an appointment,
Yep.
so I gotta pick them up and sit with the doctor.
And do that. But
Yeah.
it was really nice to be able to pop on. Thank you everyone
Yes.
who watched and joined and commented. That's really cool. So yeah, so it's good.
So we'll see if we can kind of maybe connect maybe after VBS for an
in
August
or
one.
something, yeah.
And if not, we will see you again in September. And our little shorts. I hope you've
Yes.
been enjoying our little videos. Make sure that you share, comment,
A bell thing.
invite your friends because
yeah, what is our goal? Our goal is 100
people. Now, we're not entirely sure because I thought it said 100 likes, but Scott thought that following might be okay too. We're at 86 followers, and I think it's I don't know. I can't remember how many likes, but we're
getting
closer.
close. So it'd be really nice if you invited your friends to follow and like our page and stuff
I think
like
we're
that. So
20 short of the likes, I
Yeah.
think. So anyways, please like and follow us and share, invite your friends because we would love to hit that 100 goal and perhaps maybe we'll have another giveaway when we hit the 100.
that sounds really good.
So
Yeah, I definitely think we should do that for sure.
yes.
And everyone who has liked and followed our page could go into the draw.
yes.
Yeah. So very cool.
So thanks for joining us.
Have a good day and weeks to come. Now we have to reach to shut it off.
All right, I can do that.
Bye.
Bye everyone. Maybe I can. I don't know.
Finished.